Hey everybody, so I wanted to jump on here and do a round robin roundup to kind of flip through everything that we did for the month. I counted 110 pieces. That is a mondo amount of ephemera. So, yeah, doing these little challenges is definitely a way to build your ephemera stash. That's for sure. I know I did, towards the end, I did a few Thistle Witch themed journals, ephemera pieces for an upcoming journal that I want to work on, using Cindy over at Studio Lou, using her journal kit, Thistle Witch journal kit. So, all that to be said, you'll see some of that. But, yeah, hashtag JJ Round Robin. This was a month-long collaborative effort between me and Cindy over at Studio Lou and Mary Ellen over at Red Parrot. And again, we absolutely love doing this challenge. And yeah, hopefully we'll continue it. So anywho, let's just dive right in. I've got it all piled here on my desk. I'm going to kind of do a little bit of sorting. I have a box over here off to the side that I've got Thistle Witch stuff gathering. And so, I'll move out that out of my way. So I might toss some over that way, you know. These are in no particular order because I just piled them in my box as I created them. Some of them I had to wait the next day to sew, and so they're in no particular order. So let's just dive right in. And I do have some favorites. As we're going through this, you know, tell me what your favorites are in the comments, you know, things that you liked or really didn't like. This one we did an envelope. We made a woman journal card. Some of these are like, whoa, did I do that? With the Tim Holtz people. And this little journal card and tag pull out. This was a simple journal card where I played around with the distress stuff. This will be fun in a little naturey, woodsy journal. These fun little bright women that Cindy sent me. We created two little tuck spots or pockets and a little tag. It's a little collection there. The camel fent. This was probably one of my favorites. He is so large, so he probably will go up on my bulletin board and not really make it into a journal. I have a little inspiration board off to the side over there, so he may end up over there. Here is our silly goose, our framed goose, with the back little journal card pocket. He's awfully large as well, but he's fun. Two little naturey journal cards. This is using some like painty page or eco dyed paper. Again, I don't know who sent what. I'm going to say that the washi tape was contributed by Mary Ellen. I think these little bits were Mary Ellen's as well. Maybe the index card was Cindy. Again, I really don't know. These two little funky pockets, pocket journal card things were interesting and fun to create. They could even work like in my, y'all have been hearing me talk about this for a year now. These could even work in my Marsh journals. I'm still working on them. They're still piled up over there. Then we have our little egg cards. These were probably two of my favorites. This kind of idea of sandwiching the fabric between two cards just kind of was like, it blew my mind. It's like, oh my gosh, that's the greatest thing ever. So we have two journal cards. These images are from Cindy's Patreon kit. So those we have. We have a little bird card. I don't think he comes apart now that I think about it. He's just a journal card tag. We have our 2 fishing cards, journal cards. We've sewed around them. These will be fun in a fishing journal that I'm piecing together. Our little lonely frog, again, using the idea of the fabric between 2 journal cards. Again, I just think it just makes for a cool card. Let's see here. This was like with the fishing cards, but this is a house. We've sewed around it some squiggly wiggly sewing. Add a little floof up here. Again, with the fabric between 2 cards. I was on a kick with that. Here's 2 little shaky-ish cards. You can see a little shaky going on here. Using Tim Holtz people. These cards are really thick, but I think they'll work as journal cards or tuck spots or pockets or anything of that sort. Star-crossed lovers, per se. What next? Mr. Fox card with the fabric. I did a handful of Fox stuff. We're fixing to get to it, it looks like, yeah. This one is kind of a one-off, but I tried to incorporate the gold. This was on a different day than all this other Fox stuff, I think. But I tried to keep consistency with that rose gold tissue in the background. And so we have this little guy, little tag. And this big guy tag. And I struggled with these because I used some waxed book page. But I think I've got them melted down to where they're not going to pop up. So 3 little journal cards with foxes. And then another tag with a fox. Let's see here. What else? We have these 2 randoms. Your bookish vintage books tags. And then we have our rounded polar bear card, which is kind of cool, kind of different for winter. Along with these 2 like bookmark belly band long journal cards that are wintry. And we have these 2 butterfly or moth journal cards with the paint swatches in the back. So those are pretty cool. These 2 little envelope pocket things, these butterfly moth pocket things, were done on the day that I was wonky. I did a little thistle journal something or another too, but I don't know where it's at. I probably threw it away. But the idea behind this is to glue these down in a journal and they would be pockets. So there's that. They could go in a Thistle Witch journal. Might. Maybe I'll just tuck them over there just in case we want to play that with them. These 2 cards, where's the other one? Okay, well, oh, it's right here. These 2 cards are out of Formica board samples. I backed them, and I don't think these are very Thistle Witchy, although they are kind of briary. I don't know. I added some textured little jewels to them. They are thick, hard cards. I think I might toss them in the Thistle Witch bucket just in case. I don't know if any of you guys, when you're creating journals, if you have like you just throw everything together and then as you're working in the journal, you decide if it goes or not. Here's some little numbered cards, like little tea cards with stamps and mushroom stamps and all that. We'll keep these over here for nature stuff. These 2 were probably amongst my favorites. Sewed around them, made journal cards out of these 2 little people with some very big moth wings background. I like them a lot. This was another wonky day. We're not so sure what this is. Since it's dark and woodsy, I'm going to put it in the Thistle Witch bucket. Who knows? It might become something. Here are 3 little either journal cards or pocket tuck spots using some Tim Holtz folks. And nope, these are not Tim Holtz folks. These are images. These are probably images from, yep, these are like printed images, probably from Cindy's, one of Cindy's Journal With Me kits. So yeah, those could be used in any sort of way. None of them say Thistle Witch to me. Strange Things Happening maybe, but it's got 2 ladies and I don't really think they look Thistle Witchy to me, so. Carrying on. We have, this probably was one of our first pieces. We have this Queen of Hearts journal card. And then we have this journal card pocket with the library pocket and this little card that tucks in here. It can be used as a journal card or it can be used, you know, as a tuck spot. Oh, here's another little fox with the coordinating polka dots in the background. This was another wonky piece. Journal card, yearbook photo, little tuck spot, floral. I don't know what that is. These are our bluebird pieces. Can easily be used as belly band, tuck spots, journal card for that little collection. And here's our other little bird that goes with it, kinda. Here's our random home lady. Journal card. Don't know where she'll end up, but you know, we have her. These 2 are these really thick journal card pieces. My thought process is to use them in the Thistle Witch journal. These are both images from Cindy's kit with these frames. Added the black rings to get it all witchy, so I'm going to set these aside over here in our Thistle Witch bucket. These 2 pieces of painty page that Mary Ellen sent, I just backed them with some thin brown paper, so they'll be good as stationery. And hang on, I've got somebody here. Hold on. Okay, nice little interruption. Carrying on, these 2 pages, painty pages that I've backed with some thin paper, will be fun for a little stationery in a journal. I could possibly use them in the Thistle Witch, so I'm going to tuss them that side. This, I tapped into Cindy's kit and pulled this little poem and made this big journal card. This is obviously Thistle Witch. We'll toss it over. These lovely little cards. Fell in love with the leaves that Mary Ellen sent. And just kind of did some purple witchy. Gonna toss these in the Thistle Witch with hopes that they'll work, but you know, they're not thistle, but that's okay. Using some images from Graphics Fairy, I made this little fold up, flip, pocket go in the Thistle Witch thing. This was a little snippet from a book page. We just made a little pocket. I'm going to throw it in the Thistle Witch bucket. It might come in handy. This was a little set. We've got the 2 little journal cards with a little tag or label. With this journal card, it says Back to Nature. And this little pocket journal card all goes together. This was an interesting piece. Journal card. I don't know what I'm doing with it. It's not screaming Thistle Witch to me, so we're setting it aside. 2 little pockets. Nature-y, tree-themed, Celtic tree-themed. Little curved pockets or tuck spots. Belly band with some fabric buttons, some shiny roses. It could be a journal card too, but my thought process is a belly band with this. simple little journal card out of the snap fasteners. We backed it. That'll be fun in a sewing journal. These pieces, whole handful of tags and journal cards with the same beautiful paper background. But these, with the idea of them being in a travel journal, because of the writing on the back side, items to buy, best time to visit, sights to see kind of thing. So that's a little travel journal collection. Here is our lovely witchy lady journal card, painty page, envelope, something or another. I'm going to toss this in the Thistle Witch since we've got purpley going on and witch going on. I don't know that it'll go, but we're going to toss it over there just in case. A little bee journal card. Here are some painty pages, little real thin journal card stationery things I've sewed around, did a little squiggly sew on. Those will be fun in a journal somewhere. These two little cards I did, this was kind of my first dive into the Thistle Witch stuff. The green is plastic, and these pieces did not stick. So I've come back in and I've sewed around the edges of the image and did a little bit of gluing with hopes that they'll stay. But I'm going to toss these in the Thistle Witch bucket. Here is our little Flappy-Doo card. Thistle and witchy themed, so we'll toss that over there. And same thing with this lady as well. We'll toss that in the Thistle Witch. These two little side pocket tucks with a thistle image on them, obviously going in the Thistle Witch bucket. And then these were little tags I made. The gray is like a plasticky, and the images, all this stuff did not stick. And my thought process was I would just sew around the edges, but these images kept popping up. And so we just went and did some little zigzaggy squiggle sewed to keep the images on. I don't know where they'll end up, but we have them. And the backs are ugly, but that's okay. They're open to adding more whenever they find a home. So that's what we have for Junk Journal Round Robin. Again, I think I counted about 110 pieces. So that is a mondo amount of ephemera for my ephemera stash. So thank you guys so much for joining us on this little round robin. Hopefully you've seen all of our videos. I know it's a lot, but it's a lot of fun. So there is that. Be sure and comment on our videos. Let us know what you think. Do you have a favorite out of all these goodies that I just went through? I mean, I have a couple favorites. I have a couple of them that are like, not impressed. But I think that's part of the challenge, is to kind of just create. And, you know, it's okay to make bad art, and it's okay to make really cool art that has no place for it. So thanks for joining us. Our plan right now, I think, is to be back in November with this challenge. So between now and then, heck, start stashing away some little packets for you. Come November, you're not going to know what's in them. So it may be a fun little challenge for you to start preparing for November and follow along with us, you know, this next round. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you guys next time. Bye for now.